Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is iGoRawr, and welcome to Let's Auraxium, the show where I wave my planet-side dick around for the entire internet to see. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Cyclone, a weaponized balance argument available to the new conglomerate. We're going to be going over some tips and tricks on how to best cry yourself to sleep, full well knowing that your faction's SMG will never be quite as cool as the Cyclone. Are you unsatisfied with the human body? Is genetically modified Vanu genitalia just not cutting it for you anymore? Well, I have good news, because this week's video sponsor is Nanite Systems, who are proud to unveil their fully autonomous NSHO operatives. More information later in the video. There's a lot to talk about, so let's take a look at the stats. But first, check out my new step stool.
I know what I'm about to do is really stupid looking, but it's smart, trust me. Fucking tactics, boys.
Starting off with a fire rate of what sort of crack were you smoking when you came up with this, and a damage model of and where can I get some, and a velocity of some dude down the street with long hair goes by the name of Higby. Do I really need to list the stats of this thing off to you? Every time I fight against the new conglomerate, the game shoves these numbers in my face, and every time I play as the new conglomerate, my teammates shove it into the back of my head. It doesn't matter who you are, if you can see blue, you are not safe from the face-melting menace that is the Cyclone. Next is a reload speed of 1.85 seconds short and 3 seconds long, with a magazine size of 25 rounds. Now, break down the numbers however you want, whether it's just raw reload speed, overall magazine capacity, reload time versus damage per mag. It doesn't matter. The Cyclone is not number one in any of these regards. But, just like that guy she tells you not to worry about, its name keeps popping up very close to the top of all those lists, adding a great deal of flexibility to the Cyclone despite its hyper-focus on close-range firepower. Taking a look at the recoil, and oh my god, I would put on women's underwear just to drop my panties for stats like this. So let's take inventory of the facts here. We have one of the fastest killing weapons in the game, one that also has many favorable traits in this headshot nanoweave meta. It's available on every single class, and its recoil looks like it belongs to a moderate rate of fire carbine. You know, my rule generally is if it doesn't grow, don't take it, but this whack crack from Higby out back is sounding more tantalizing by the minute. It's made even more ridiculous when you consider that most of the time the Cyclone is probably going to be sprayed. Speaking of which, when it comes to my recommendations for attachments, I'm gonna be a bit bold this time. You're an idiot if you don't spray this thing often. Sights are a matter of preference, a suppressor is a situational choice, but if you ever see an NC player using a compensator on the Cyclone, team kill them and link them to this video. They clearly need their head pulled out of their ass. Laser sight and soft point ammo is pretty much the only way to go on the Cyclone, and I don't recommend deviating from that plan unless you're already a pro salt farmer. So that brings us to our final question. Is this gun worth your time? And the answer is undoubtedly yes. Oh my god, yes. You see, I've been covertly running a popularity poll on Connery for about 8 years now, to figure out what everybody's favorite weapons are. The votes have been cast with bullets, and the ballot box has been my butthole, and you'll be hard-pressed to find another ass on Auraxis that's been unloaded on as much as mine. My experiences with the Cyclone prior to Auraxiuming it has left me with the impression that it is more ubiquitous with the NC than team killing and bonus checks. But after having taken years of punishment from it and going well beyond the typical 1,160 kills I get with a weapon before making one of these shitposts, I feel like I've earned the right to make this call. Unless you are willing to break out the chapstick and suck some serious outfit daddy dick to get the keys to a bastion, the Cyclone is the most deadly piece of hardware you can get your hands on. As a side note, my outfit is still recruiting, and we're looking for moronic individuals with loose morals and soft lips. It doesn't really matter who you are, whether it's a fresh-faced noob or a salty vet or somewhere in between. At all levels of play, the fully automatic cordless fisting machine that we know as the Cyclone is not just viable, it's optimal. In the hands of an experienced player, this is easily one of the fastest weapons in the game in just so many regards. Its time to kill is as fast as it gets unless you're a bolter, in which case go fuck yourself. It deals 167 damage, the ideal number for getting head, but most importantly, and I cannot stress this detail enough, it is so damn accurate from the hip that you can aim for headshots within the maximum damage range, and that, oh my god, that just makes this gun just eat ass like there's no tomorrow. It kills fast, it moves fast, it aims fast, it swaps to and from other weapons fast, and it's available on the heavy assault, so you can do all that while still being 50% more durable than everybody else. The little details about how the Cyclone can be used and abused by the best players is a long one, but to sum it all up to you, the Cyclone in the right hands is more disgusting than my Steam profile. But what about the new players, the little guys? Well, don't worry, the Cyclone's got you covered too. Despite the fact that the weapon is packed with meta-abusing tricks, you honestly don't need to be aware of any of them, and the weapon is still amazing. And the fact that it's so powerful at both the high and the low end of skill just makes the Cyclone more accessible than your mother's tits. In the hands of a brand new player, this is easily one of the best chances you are going to have against the vets who have been playing this game for years. Putting the crosshairs on the bad guy and generously applying lead till the problem goes away isn't a particularly hard concept to master, even for an NC player. At its core, it is a robust spray gun, and no matter the situation, it will excel at that. But there are a few little downsides that the Cyclone has, the biggest one of which is that it's an SMG and all the baggage that comes with that. The velocity on the Cyclone is incredibly low, and trying to hit a moving target past 20 meters feels less like shooting at them and more like hurting your bullets in their general direction. The damage drop-off at range is huge, leaving plenty of opportunity for lower rate of fire weapons to get the one-up on you, even at the closer ranges. Which is why my general rule with the Cyclone is, if I can't piss on it from where I stand, I probably shouldn't be trying to shoot at it, but then again, I never follow my own advice, so why should you? Speaking of advice you shouldn't take, my little piece of advice for anyone that wants to Auraxium this weapon is this: use it and abuse it. The Cyclone is undoubtedly that one totally overpowered gun that every faction has one of that will simply just never be nerfed. I know such verbal handjobbery is the norm for any weapon I review that I also like. After all, not a moment passes where my Pulsar C-Utter isn't hurtin' for a squirtin'. But for a weapon to be such a perfect choice for both brand new players and salty vets alike is not just rare, it's one of a kind, and I cannot name a single other weapon in the game that does that job quite as well as the Cyclone. So take iGoRawr's word for it on this one. If you're looking for a close-range powerhouse, get yourself the Cyclone, and you will not be disappointed. And if you are, well, I will personally come to your house and apologize to you for how much you suck at the game. I'll see you next time.